do we have to hold this pose?
Until the date.
What's today?
The 23rd.
Wait, that's the date.
What?
Today's the date. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, ouch! Jeez. How long have we been holding that pose?
Like 3 years.
Oh gosh, that's a long time.
Yeah. Wait. Does that mean we're married?
Yeah. Oh my God, we're married! We're married! Wait, we just got wedding.
We sure did. Yes, we did. Oh wow, look!
They really saved it.
Yeah, they're all here.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Oh, you were beautiful.
Thank you so much for helping us save the day! We couldn't have done it without you guys.
Oh, and for those of you who didn't know what a date is,
Rashad Perkins.
there are a few of them in those white boxes on your table. They are a sweet, delicious fruit.
Yep, they are not poop. So without further ado,
we have some people we need you to meet. This gal's biggest pet peeve is when someone wears brown and black together at the same time. So I hope none of you did that tonight for your own sake. And this guy is most definitely the life of every single party. Kelly Grove and Trent Hubbard Yielding. This gal and I have played on the same soccer team with her mom as our coach for 10 years.
And this guy really likes Peter Pan. I'm sure he's gonna tell you about it.
Chloe Toad.
And Michael Cody, aka Chicago.
This sorority sister and I have romped around UCLA, lived together for 4 years, been to Chicago and Vegas, probably 1 too many times.
And I saved this guy's life in the club 15 years ago. That's the luck.
Casey D. Michelle.
And Sam Williams.
This DG sister of mine flew the furthest all the way from London, but she's from Oakland, so don't get it twisted.
And this guy I met on the bus in 8th grade where we held fight clubs. True story.
Sky Kuba.
And Paul Henderson.
This DG sister of mine is the Zumba instructor and also my wife.
And I met this guy on the TV show 24 where he forced me to be his friend. And I'm in.
Keely Reinauer.
And Tony Wayne.
This DG sister and fellow Cooped bride just got married last month.
And this guy makes the best drinks in the world and has the coolest name.
Jessica Vasquez.
And Garrett Gardner Graves, aka Triple G.
This DG sister of mine was the president of our sorority and has an alter ego named Fun Sam.
And this guy was our officiant tonight, my roommate for 5 years, and also plays Jesus every year on Easter Sunday at church.
Samantha Soriano.
And J. Patrick Wise.
You've probably seen this sister from another mister on Broadway or TV and has a movie coming out that's right for famous people here.
And I'm excited for this guy to try a date for the very first time.
Tiana Okoye.
And Rashad Perkins. What's up?
Philadelphia today and was a part of a hip-hop team growing up, so we cannot underestimate her.
And this guy might be the greatest dancer I've ever seen. But don't let him in your house because he'll drink all your juice and move your furniture.
Ellen Warner.
And Roger Payano!
This Sister by Choice's name was my first word as a baby. She has always been one of my 3 Chinese angels, and she's a magnificent artist.
This guy is one half of my best men duel. Me and this guy set the dance floor ablaze at our senior prom when no one else wanted to dance. We set the party off, so hopefully we can have a part 2 tonight.
Aaron Adams.
And Todd Skinner!
This maid of honor of mine has been my twin since birth, is our 3rd Chinese angel, and through the most amazing bachelorette weekend anyone has ever seen. My left.
This guy is one of the other half of my best men. He's only one of my best men because I couldn't ask his twin brother without asking him to roast me. He's the definition of keep your friends close and your enemies closer. This man has been hating on me for almost 30 years. He's my biggest hater, and yeah.
Alyssa LaRochelle.
And Ted Steve.
And now Mr. and Mrs. Cooper will have their first dance as husband and wife.
All the trees are in the baby. Leaves so high your feet won't touch the ground. Would you look up, baby? It's part of the purple sky. Promise I'll
Congratulations to both of them. Now we're gonna have Murray stay right here on the dance floor, and we're gonna have her parents, Deborah and Oli, come up and join her for a parent and daughter dance. Let's hear it from Murray and her parents. So I'd like to invite the groom, Kenneth, back to the dance floor and his mother to come join him.
I don't know where the time has gone since those little boy days. Doesn't seem that long. Yet here you are, it's your wedding day. And there's one thing, darling, I'd like to say. Be kind, be sweet, be a gentleman. Care and share and always be there. Then remember, though you now have taken a wife, you will always be my son, my loving son.
Let's hear it for the groom and his mother. So at this time, we have a few people who are going to say a few words.
You know, we thought we were gonna, sign forms or do something like that. But coach said, no, go on the field. So we show up with like sneakers on and we got our like school shirts pulled over our shoulder pads. We looked a mess. We looked crazy. And we looked pretty intimidating. But somehow Coop came up to us and introduced himself to me, and we've been friends ever since. But I play a pretty important role in Coop's life, as you guys saw on the screen there. I am Coop's head. Okay, everybody needs one, especially Coop. He's wearing a gold suit. And many guys have a problem. So, everybody needs that one guy. So, people can check us out. You guys just not in for that? Where you can thank for that. But no, that's my job. That's my role in Coop's life. I came up here fully prepared to roast you. Coop wants you to know that. But my wife said that would not be in good taste. So, we're not going to do that. But, you guys talk after this, sometime after. We've always gone back and forth like Coop said. I mean, there's one thing that Coop likes to do is share an opinion. I like to shoot down his opinion. And we go back and forth with everything. But despite all that, I mean, at one point we were in a box, right?
We were in a box.
It never happened.
No.
I got scared.
With all that said, man, Coop is the best friend anybody could ever have. I've talked to a lot of you all in the room. A lot of folks have flown in from all over the country. That's a testament, Coop, to who you are as a man. There's no question that Coop would do anything for his friends. I mean, regardless, yeah, all of us here, we all know that, okay? There's no better guy, than Coop, man. You know, when I was going through stuff, when I went through things, Coop, you've always been there for you. We've not always been geographically co-located. We've been in different parts of the country. I was in the military, traveled out, went to college, all that stuff, but I always knew that Coop was going to be there. Man, it means so much. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you are, you know that friend's going to be there. I mean, we can see each other for, after, years, and pick up right where we started off, man. That means so much, man. I really can't thank you enough for that. But on to the good stuff, man. Coop is the funnest dude you can be around. All right? There's so many stories in this very room about hanging with Coop, all right? And Coop's the only guy you can have a conversation with somebody, and somebody will say something like, yeah, and then we, started hanging out with Marvin Gaye's wife. And you're like, what? Is that a normal thing? This is a true story. Right? I'm been asking about it. Right? I'm just saying, right? But that's Coop, man. I mean, everybody has a story like that, right? You know? And I used to ask myself, what is it about Coop, man? Why is he so, magnetic? What makes this guy himself? And then, and you brought it up in the wedding. We were sitting at my bachelor party a couple years ago. It was a great time. Debating life, because I guess that's what people do at bachelor parties. And he basically started bringing up his philosophy, which he apparently has shared with everybody. I thought it was special about this happiness thing, man. And that, life is really about pursuing happiness. And I said to myself, man, that is Coop to a T. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many of us get bogged down with life? How many of us get bogged down with grind? Stuck in bad relationships, stuck in bad situations. Coop never lets that happen. He has bad days, but he never lets that happen. You're always pursuing happiness. You're always chasing something. I mean, that says so much about the hope, that spirit that's inside of you, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that says so much about it. I mean, there's that happiness that makes, you guys saw me dance, although I can't do it. We go to the club, no rhythm, no money, have a blast. I mean, it's that spirit, you know what I'm saying? It's that spirit that puts you out here to California, man. You know what I'm saying? Chase that dream, dude. You know what I'm saying? And Mary, it's that spirit that brought him to you. It really is that pursuit of happiness brought him to you. And I mean, it's not too often you can see somebody just know that person is right where you got them at. I mean, and then right off the bat, you guys share that spirit. You guys share that joy, that light. I can see everybody, when you come talk to you, you interact with folks, that light, that presence is so meaningful, man. You guys impact people's lives so much. You really do. Excuse me, get choked up. Now, I've only been married a couple of years. I really can't give you any advice. My wife would tell everybody that I am a work in progress. Never stop pursuing that happiness. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. You guys so much. You guys are such phenomenal people. All right? Thank you guys. Thank you.
How do you follow that? Okay. Hi. I'm Ellen. Murray's been one of my best friends for over 20 years, which is really an insane thing to wrap my mind around. It's taken me a long time to write this speech. Honestly, probably all through your engagement. Because I kept asking myself, how do you speak at someone's wedding that you have so much history with and try to keep it about 2 minutes? I never did come up with an answer to that question, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. Ray and I, we grew up, we went to the same schools. We played soccer together, did gymnastics, played softball because everybody else was doing it. Just generally, we're always around one another. As we moved through high school, our bond really deepened, and soon we're talking about college. it seemed like we were the only two people in our friend group who would be venturing out of state. And I remember when we left for school, I was really sad to be leaving you, but I was really excited that somebody else could relate to this like big journey we were going on. And look at you, still 13 years later, not living in Texas, still in Cali. Marie has always been adventurous, driven, and passionate. She is so unbelievably smart, and she will put herself on the line for the people she loves. She loves deeply and intensely, and it really is a privilege to be loved by her. I look up to you, Marie, for a lot of things, but one that always sticks out to me is your perseverance. You don't give up, ever, on anything. I look to you as an example of why putting your best effort in will always be rewarded. And you're really a shining example of the beauty of being resilient, because you push harder and farther than any person probably should ever have to, but you keep doing it. And that's amazing. You're my sister, my confidant, and even though we lived apart for almost half of our lives, I have no questions or fears about our friendship. We put the work in, and as we've grown up, we've really grown together. And I can't thank you enough for sticking by me, for being my friend, for pushing me, for loving me. Thank you. I remember when Murray started dating Kenny, he sounded like somebody really special. He sounded goofy and also someone who's driven and hardworking. And truthfully, meeting Kenny was really nerve-wracking for me. Not only because when your best friend talks about like, I met this person and I'm so excited, you're like, oh shoot, I really hope that I like them. I hope they're good. But also, I hope that he liked me, because I like to be liked. But he was so easy to get along with right from the start. I didn't feel like there was any sort of awkward period. It felt natural. It felt like we knew each other for a long time. Kenny's also someone who is super passionate. The first time we met, he convinced me to stop drinking milk by sharing intense ethical and hygiene concerns for the dairy industry. So thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Kenny, Murray, my husband, and I have spent a lot of time together, and we always talk about how amazing and fun and easy it is to be around them. It's just like, you pick up right where you leave off. We talk about important things like race, power, privilege, the merits of therapy, systemic injustice. We also talk about other important things like who's going to win this season of the challenge and how many third graders you could take in hand-to-hand combat. And if you hear that question and you say to yourself more than 15, you're lying to yourself, and we can talk about that later. Okay?
32.
Kenny, let's talk. I think I'm probably getting to my 2-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap things up. But some of you might know that I'm a marriage and family therapist by trade, so I believe I have some insight into what creates an environment for healthy relationships. Those things are common goals of interest. Talking about any and everything. Remembering that it's you two versus any problem, not you two versus each other. That can help the already strong foundation that you two have. Even when things become difficult, remember that you have your partner's best interests in mind, and that they have yours in mind too. Give grace, offer compassion, even when it's hard, and even when it's challenging, and just generally love hard. Love hard. A wise man once told me that if you focus on happiness, everything will fall into place. So create joy and happiness within yourselves and with one another. You two are the most special people in this world, and every single one of us in this room is so blessed to know you and celebrate with you. I love you both so much. Thank you.
day I was born. Murray has always been, ever since we were little, a very determined and goal-oriented person. She is so driven, and she has always known she wanted to be an actor. I don't remember since what age, but it was young enough that I don't remember a time where she didn't want to be an actor. So this has always been her path, and I've always admired how hard she works to get her goals and achieve her dreams, and she knows what she wants and she doesn't mess around. And because of that, when she said that she was going to bring someone home from California, I knew that, okay, this must be like the real deal because, you know, she knows what she wants. And so I was a little bit nervous to meet Kenny. The first time he came to Houston, me and my husband had him over for dinner, and we knew he was going to be probably nice. I mean, everyone's like nice, at least at first, you know, right? So we knew he was going to be nice. And funny because of the way they met. I mean, the whole high five thing. So we knew he was going to be funny. And he was. And he was nice, and he was funny, and we all had a great time. We talked for hours, we were laughing, and kind of like Ellen said, it just felt like we had known each other forever, and it went really well. And so after that dinner, I knew, and I even told my husband, I knew that we would all be here one day. And it's not because Kenny was nice and Kenny was funny, but it was because of the way Murray was in his presence. And she just had a sense of peace and comfort, like it was just what was meant to be. And I had never seen her that way with someone before, and so I just knew that, I didn't know when, but I knew someday that Kenny was the one that we would all be here to welcome into the family. So over the next few years, we got to know Kenny more, and what I learned about him was that he was a very supportive person. When we came to visit LA, me and my husband, I was really impressed with the way Murray had an audition, and Kenny was just right there supporting her, encouraging her, and like helping her get it done and making sure it went really well. And it was so genuine, the way that you just, her success was your success, and you just really cared about what she was doing. So I learned that you were supportive and encouraging and loyal, and these are all things that I was really touched to hear last night when all of your lifelong friends confirmed those things, because we don't get to spend much time living so far apart. So the little bit of time that we have, you know, you try to get to know each other. So to hear everyone say all these wonderful things was so heartwarming and just so comforting that these things I've learned over the years is what everyone in your life thinks about you. So I was very happy to learn this because Murray is all of those things as well. If someone were to ask me, like, what is it in her friendship that stands out, it's her loyalty, her support, and her encouragement, all of those same things. And so when you think about your best friend and your sister finding their match, you know, you want them to have, you know, to be good enough. And so after meeting Kenny and knowing that he was good enough by Murray, that was just something that really comforted me. Murray is the friend that if you call her, she can be so busy. She can be on a shoot, planning a wedding, COVID's happening, it doesn't matter what she's doing, she will answer the phone. She's not the one who's gonna say, can I call you back later via text? She answers the phone, and first she checks to make sure everything's okay, and then says, okay, I'm doing this, is it okay if I call you back later? And she cares about her friends so deeply. She puts so much effort into every single one of her friendships, and just pours so much love into all of the relationships that she's in, which I think, you know, is proof all around us when you have all of these people here loving you, and everybody's your best friend. You don't have a friend that's not your best friend, which is such an amazing thing to see. And just her encouragement. No matter what phase of life I've ever been in, you've always been there to let me know that I'm doing okay, and I'm, doing good, and everything's gonna be great. Even like with this speech, I was thinking about, I'm not like, I'm not an actor. So, I thought, if I get nervous, my first thought was, you know what, just look at Murray, because she will definitely have the look on her face like this is the best speech she's ever heard. Anyway, you guys are a great team. Y'all's partnership is something that's really inspiring to watch. You feed off of each other. You pick each other up when one is down, the other picks each other up, and you just kind of balance each other out. I think you're going to make a really great team going forward, and I just wish you guys all the best, and cheers to the Coopers.
As you heard, I'm the best man that Coop really wanted. You talk logically obligated with this guy. I'm better. That's right. As you can tell, I'm the church one. So, my job here is to sort of back clean up. In baseball, you got the fourth batter that comes up and sort of takes everybody home. So that's what I'm doing. I actually am going to correct the record. I met Coop first, okay? And I take that claim of the Skinners. I met him in our 9th grade social studies class with Mr. Savarino. I was a new kid. That was 27 years ago. I was a new kid. That's right. Yeah, it's hard to believe. New kid in school, and I'm the quiet analytical type, right? So I sit in the back of the class and looking around, trying to get a feel for the room. And I hear this guy in the back, sort of hyperventilating or something like that. And it was like, right? And I'm like, what is that? And I look back and there's Coop. This guy in the back of the class, and it turned out he wasn't hyperventilating. That's how he laughs. That's how he laughs. But he was the center of attention. Everybody just loved this guy, and even Mr. Savarino seemed to pay deference to Coop. And so I figured I'd go introduce myself, tell him I played football, because he had the jersey on, and we hit it off ever since, right? And it turned out we had a lot in common, right? We both played a lot of sports. Coop, I think he played like every sport at Douglas, except like tennis and golf. But this was before like Serena and Tiger folks. We let's come to the side, okay? All right. But he played every sport. We both had this this fascination with 80s retro cult classics like Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, right? And The Last Dragon. That's right, showing up, right? And we also, it turns out, I guess most importantly, we ended up living in the same neighborhood. We moved into the same neighborhood as Coop and his family. Let's go. We really bonded from that. I also learned real quick that we didn't have some things in common. Most importantly, Coop is as you all know, I'm not surprised anyway, he's a natural entertainer, okay? He is an absolutely phenomenal person to be around, great person to hang out with, and in contrast to myself, he's a little cold, right? You know what I'm saying? Coop really brought that out in us Skinners here, and most notoriously, the thing that just sticks out in my mind is one day he got this bright idea. Remember I told you we loved that 80s stuff, to cut our hair in like Mr. T. You guys know who Mr. T is, right? So we cut our hair in this Mr. T style mohawk, okay? Had the fat gold chains and the tight shirts with the baggy 80s style pants. And we had, in that time, we had sort of like these throwback days, right? We go to school and sort of emulate, the past a little bit. It's kind of like today, what you guys might call, and the young people, a TikTok challenge or whatever. Our version of that back then. Coop Coop had this great idea. We go to school, and what happened was amazing, okay? We walk in the school building, people start like going wild, all right? In like this frenzy of nostalgia, okay? And like folks are just like going crazy, okay? And I don't know how we ended up on stage. Nobody knows this, okay? This has been a controversy for years. But somehow I think we just got carried along. In the cafeteria on the stage, there's hundreds of students around cheering and yelling. It was a pandemonium in the school building, okay? And somehow, Coop gets a mic. I don't know who had it. I think he pulled it out of his pocket. Just had the mic. And probably just waiting in anticipation for what he has next and just say, I peed a fool. And girls just go out and lay out. It's great. All right? But I looked over and I saw the glisten in his eye, right? And I saw right then that that was Coop's first taste of real stardom. That's why I think he's out here right now. He's a great entertainer. If you ever really understand who Coop is, I think you kind of have to understand his parents. And I think one of the big treats for me personally is coming out here and seeing Mr. Ken and Mr. Deborah Cooper again after all these years. I was reminded when I was coming out here that I didn't get off to an auspicious start with the Coopers, I don't think. I think not too long after I met Coop, there was this unbelievable blizzard, okay? And I had this assignment. I decided I would go to Coop's house to go get a book because I had a project and I had to go get this book. And so I decided to brave this blizzard. And give Coop a call and tell him I'm on the way. And go through this, decide to walk this 3/4 of a mile to Coop's house in this blizzard. So, all good. 3 hours later, I show up at his house. And I'm covered in snow. I think I lost a few toes or something like that, right? But I'm greeted and I walk into this house and it smells of like warm jasmine and lavender. There's like smooth jazz playing. I had to take my pulse and stuff, which was pretty bad because I couldn't feel my pulse. But anyway, so I'm just greeted by Miss Cooper. She's got this great look of concern on her face, and so she brings me a nice warm cup of like hot cocoa or something like that. Calls my father and stuff, but just the genuine concern that you all had. I think for all of the guys from the East Coast, you all really just meant so much to us. It just really summed up what the Coopers are all about, right? It's class, it's kindness, it's beauty, and it's life. Okay? And so I really appreciate you all. I know afterwards, Ms. Cooper had to have been saying, what kind of idiot am I hanging with? But anyway, so Coop brings out the best of us, okay? And I think that's something that I want to really echo here. For example, Coop had the great idea one time to have a basketball tournament or something like that, right? 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And let me tell you something. Ted said that he's a bad dancer. The truth is we're terrible basketball players too. We are vertically challenged when it comes to basketball, all right? You know how Coop and Murray jumped the broom earlier? Okay? There were no broom jumping at our weddings, all right? Just put it that way, okay? But the bottom line is Coop whipped us into shape, and we went undefeated. I think nobody could beat us, okay? Isn't that right, Michelle? Really, Michelle? That's right. And you know what? At one point, I'm telling you, I think you tried to keep me down. That's how Coop motivates people. But yeah, this guy has been there for every moment of our life as we gotten older. And Tevin mentioned we're in the military. We're combat veterans, obviously. And you know that war changes people, right? I think you guys can imagine that. Life changes people, the grind, life changes people. But this guy has been a rock for us, just not just speaking for myself, but all of the guys that have come out here for much of our life. And, Coop, we can't thank you enough for that. I think that the beauty of this marriage today is that, you know, in Murray, you're getting back a little bit what you paid for to all of us after all of these years, man. And, you know, I really appreciate that. And I know we all do. I know I'm running long and folks want to get to eating and stuff. I did want to say one thing about how we met, and then I'll get off to that. Okay. So Murray obviously is very wonderful. I'm going to spare you the time that you know Coop talked about Murray coming. Murray and introduced us to her, but I have to tell you. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. You know. So fast forward, okay? Murray and Coop decides to bring Murray to Maryland, and my wife, Sekinda Skinner, we've been married 16 years now. But what I learned about her, and what I learned about being married to Sekinda, I think me and Tripp were having a conversation like this earlier, is that there's certain things about a person you just trust implicitly. One thing I trust about Sekinda is her taste in people. Okay. I trusted it implicitly, and so when Murray came, you know, she comes. Coop introduces us to her, and she's got this smile that I'm telling you is the solution for world peace. Okay, it's just incredible. All right, and you know immediately this woman is special. Murray, you're an unbelievable person, and I just, you know, when we met you, you know, I think it took some time. Besides, Skinner was starting to gush over you, so I was like, okay, there's something there. And then, you know, I think Skinner started asking for an autograph, you know, multiple times. You know, one time was from you, though. So and then, you know, I think that came down a little later, and she was talking to you all about marriage and, you know, and kids and everything. I had to tell her, slow down, you know, you're not ready. But the truth is, though, the truth is that she saw what I saw in you. The only difference is that it was familiar to me, and that is that you emulate those same qualities we talked about before, right? Of class, of beauty, of life, and I think you'll fit right in with the Coopers and family, and I appreciate you and all you're doing for our good friend King Cooper. We love you both, and with that, I'll yield the floor. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much.
Hey guys, let's get a picture with the sock, with his toes out. Let's get a picture with his toes out.
Anymore.
Right?
I got a mani pedi for this.
Excuse me if I enter. Make I see this baby. She looks so sweetie. She never try higher. She start to the wine. She the wine and a wine and a wine. She the bend and a bend and a. Every day na jolly, oh yeah, move your body. No time for story. I like it when you do something. Why you wanna rolling? Take on my heart. Can I get controlling? What's up with my time? I said no money. It's supposed to throw it. I don't know how they get. It's supposed to throw it. Who said that? Too much money. Follow the leader. Everybody. Yes, it's time. Come on, get you. Back to the party. Yes, it's time. Come on, get you. Back to the party. For this my party, man, I get here. Just this my party, it's just a thing. My woman, we supposed to be happy. Don't let me check it. Everybody shake it. I'm a man. This is life. I'm a baby. I do my thing. I'm a man. This is life. I'm a baby. I do my thing. Let's hear from Mr.
Here at an actor's wedding. More importantly, thank you so much to all of our families for sharing their different traditions and personalities tonight. That is the making of a marriage, and that is why we wanted y'all to see this. And we wanted to give some special thank yous.
So we want to thank, first of all, everybody. We want to thank everyone in this building for being here. Much has been made about how Kenny didn't want to get married. I always said that. And then it was like, Kenny don't want to have a wedding. And I was like, man, there's all this money. People drinking about alcohol. Man, I don't know why we're doing this. And the one thing Murray said that stuck with me, and I couldn't, as everybody said, that I'm opinionated and I kind of like to argue. I couldn't argue was, she said that it's going to be the one time in life that everyone we love, every one of you we love, is going to be in one place at one time. This is never going to happen again. And for that, this is priceless. There's not enough money to get that joy and love that we were feeling. So thank you to everybody that came out here, because we know it's tough. We were supposed to do this a year ago, and things happened. And in that year, honestly, people couldn't make it, and people are no longer here. So that makes every day more special. And like really, the rest of this night is all about partying and having fun, and make that, and happiness, and make this night special. So we would like to thank all our parents for being here.
Yes. Thank you to Moses Anisio, Blessing Anisio,
Deborah Price from Cooper, Ken Cooper, Oli Sorensen, Deborah Gray. Thank you so much for your support and your participation. We couldn't have done this day without you guys. This whole weekend. And
We'd like to thank Lindsay for all your help putting this together.
so Lindsay has been working this entire event all day. So first of all, after this speech is over, everyone put a drink in her hand because she's done. Second of all, this woman is not just a friend and an event planner. She allowed me to nanny her child for like 10 years. She invited me into her home and into holidays as a family member. She's been a mentor, a sister, a mom, like all the different things. And this one speech is not enough to thank you for your input in our life. But thank you so much for this day. I mean, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for today.
I just want to tell everybody when the party gets started, there's a photo booth out there. Please take some pictures. We'd like to see your beautiful faces. And also, please take the succulents home. That's important.
Yes, these are gifts.
I know that sounds tacky, but take them home. Do us a favor.
And that's it.
So without further ado, let's all get cooped up on this dance floor, dog.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side, so I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated drive, take the keys to my truck. Get the shop up.
Hey, get it. You know she already turned up. Yeah.
She said, baby, let's go. When I told her, I said,
Access granted.